Good morning, everyone. My name is Omar Valdez. I'm a French instructor at El Centro College. Nice to meet you. I'm making this video to give you an introduction to our course, which is Beginning French 1 for Flex Term 2 for the spring of 2018. In this video, I'm going to be discussing the parameters to which your grade will be calculated, the expectations that I have for you on the course, and just regular information. I will also give you an information on how to sign up for the Kia website, which is where you will be doing your online homework. Okay. So, like I said before, my name is Omar Valdez, and this is our syllabus, and you can already access it on eCampus. This is my email address, orvaldez@dcccd.edu, and that is my preferred mode of communication. If you have a question, if you would like to meet with me, we can meet by appointment, but otherwise there are no office hours because the class is online. And we may even set up a phone call if that's something that meets your needs. So this is our first semester of French at El Centro, and it's one of four different courses. This is the first semester you can do academic transfer, so other universities accept this course. It is an introductory course intended for students who have never taken French in the past, or students with little or no knowledge of French in general. Okay, we are presenting vocabulary. We are presenting um, the first grammar structures in order for you to carry a conversation, and we will be testing you on reading and writing, listening, and speaking. Okay? So um, the course materials for this course, we're going to be using a textbook called Horizons, the 6th edition, and with a 6-month access code online. So in order for you to access, you don't actually need a hard copy of the textbook. You may get one if you wish, but the 6-month access allows you to have access to the online copy of the workbook. So all you need really is a 6-month iLearn code. And after we are done with the syllabus, I'm going to explain to you how to get the code and how to access the Kia website, which is where you will be doing most of your homework. Okay? And that is the option B. So the Kia access code only includes all required materials and an ebook. Okay? So we'll get to how you get to Kia in a second. Okay? For Kia, there are two options. You can buy a 6-month or an 18-month access code. Um, unless you're planning on continuing with us for French 2, for French 3, then all you need is a 6-month access code. Right? These are the technical requirements for our course. Nico, sorry, I have a dog. These are our technical requirements for the course, and they are very important because in the Kia website you have to be able to see videos, to record yourself, and to also listen to audio. So those things are very important. So make sure that you have the required equipment. Sometimes some students are unable to hear, sometimes they're unable to listen, and it becomes a problem for them. So make sure that you go through this list to make sure that you have what you need in order to complete the course on the technological side. Okay. You will also need a headset with microphones unless your computer already has a built-in microphone because you will be recording yourself. You need to have reliable internet access, and you need to have access to Skype if you want to have a meeting with me. Okay? So let's talk about your grade. Your grade will be calculated on a point system. So it is not just it's not an average of grades. What we do is we give you a total of 2,750 points total for the semester. Each assignment that you do is worth a certain number of points. And at the end, you total those points up and then you look at the range of what the letter, what the grade letters are to see in what letter range you fell into. So if you got 2,250 points for the whole semester, then you'll be getting a B. If you got 2,500 points or above, then you'll be getting an A. Okay, so like I said, you'll be doing most of your work on the Kia website, that website where you will be purchasing the code and where you will have access to your textbook. You will also do some work on eCampus, which is our version of Blackboard for Dallas County. Okay? So the workbook and the textbook activities, both of these activities are worth 100 points each per chapter. You will have around 20, let's say I'm going to say 30 exercises uh, per chapter, per so 30 workbook activities and 30 textbook activities per chapter. Each one of those sections will be worth 100 points, and those are going to be due daily. And I will show you, I have a day-to-day calendar, and it'll tell you exactly where everything is due. So there is really no mystery as to what you need to turn in every day. So if when you go to Kia and you open your assignment calendar, you will see some workbook activities and some textbook activities. The workbook activities are just regular exercises. The textbook activities deal mainly with speaking or listening. So that's the difference between both of them. The textbook activities are taking the place of the time that we should have that we could have spent in the classroom together practicing. Okay? So some people in the past I've realized that they do the workbook activities because they're easier and they do not do some of the recordings, and it takes those recordings actually are worth more points than those that are not that those that you do not need to record. So make sure that you attempt all of those exercises, because it may seem like just one exercise, but it's worth 20 points because it takes a longer time and it takes longer to prepare for an activity in which you have to speak than one where you do not. Okay? So the workbook activities and the textbook activities, you have workbook activities chapter 1, textbook activities chapter 1, workbook activities chapter 2, textbook activities chapter 2. And each one of those chapters is worth 100 points per workbook activities, per textbook activities. Okay? So you will also have speaking tests, which are also available on Kia. And in those speaking tests, I will give you some instructions and you will just speak. Some people like to write some things down, and that's okay. What we don't want is for you to be reading everything from the paper, because that is not the point of a speaking test. You don't need to be perfect. What we need is for you to really have uh, an authentic experience in practice your speaking. So also the use of translators is completely prohibited. It is very easy for an instructor like me to realize when someone is using a translator and just inputting information there. I do not need you to use the translator. It'll give you an automatic 0 for that assignment and a warning for the next time. Okay, and what happens is that you learn nothing. So I'm not expecting perfection from your speaking, but what I really want is your effort. Okay, your effort to actually try and do this the right way. Okay? And they are not that hard. You don't have to talk for a long time, but you have to allow yourself to do this exercise. It is part of what we're doing here online in order to make up for the time we don't spend in the classroom. So we both have to respect that exercise the way it is. So the usage of translators is completely prohibited. Or the usage of, somebody who speaks French and is helping you. you those helps, we consider that collusion, meaning that you are working with someone when the assignment is meant to be individual. So please refrain from that and just give it your best effort. Okay? So you'll be doing your workbook activities, your textbook activities, your speaking tests, and your chapter exams on Kia. So after you do your activities, your textbook and workbook activities, we will have an exam, and that is worth 100 points each. And that's all you're going to do on Kia, which is a lot, just half of the assignments. The other half of the assignments you're going to do on eCampus. You're going to submit 2 compositions in French. You're going to submit a comment and a post on a critical thinking discussion board and a cultural discussion board. And you're going to complete an essay. This essay is done in English, and we already have a topic which is already available on eCampus. And it's got to do with culture, with languages, and with the United States. I believe the topic for this semester is um, technology and language learning. And we're going to see in a minute, we're going to go to eCampus and see the instructions. But what we're going to do is you're going to do a reflective essay, and that's going to be your first draft. Then someone else is going to critique that and give you some advice, and you're going to review and give us um, a final version of your essay, all in English, this essay. Finally, you will do a PowerPoint presentation in which you will include some audio so that it'll it re- so it would be like you're doing a presentation in class, but you're doing it in a PowerPoint. Okay. So as we go along, if you still have any questions, please email me regarding the grade calculation and regarding the assignments. But as we go along, I'll make sure to remind you of things that are due and give you an explanation again as things become due. Okay? So all assignments for the class are due by midnight at 11:59 p.m. Um, on the day of the week in which they appear on the calendar, which we will see in a minute. Okay? I do not accept any late work. If you have problems, technical problems with Kia, that happens sometimes. And in order for me to give you an extension for work on Kia, I need like a ticket from Kia that in fact, that you contacted the technology, the technical, the tech support from Kia. Okay. So, and we're gonna get to Kia in a minute. So there's some information here that I'll get to when we do that. Okay. Um, I believe I covered academic dishonesty and cheating. It's just the usage of any help that's not your textbook is prohibited, or maybe a dictionary is allowed. But having help from other people using a translator is completely prohibited. It'll give you a 0 for the assignment that you turn in, and it'll put you at warning. And then if you do it a second time, then we'll refer you to the Dallas County Community College student council. Okay. And no late homework is accepted, and exams cannot be made up. So make sure that you look at those dates and that you complete those assignments. You are also able, because all assignments are going to be posted today, you can actually work ahead if you wish. And if you do that, if something happens, life is crazy. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Sometimes you don't have time to go back and do your French homework. I would suggest that you work 2-3 days ahead so that you avoid any issues. Okay? So taking an online course can be intimidating, right? It's hard to navigate, and there's a lot of self-discipline that comes into place. So just if you have any questions, look at eCampus, look at the syllabus, look at my instructions, look at the announcements that I post every other day or so. And if you still have any problems, please contact me, and I should be replying to you within the next 24 hours. Okay? Since it's a class online, what I suggest is that you study the chapter. Okay, so every day you will have an assigned reading, and that will see on the assignment on the day-to-day calendar. Study the chapter. Look at the grammar videos that are provided on Kia. Then look at the grammar videos that I provide for you. Then work on the workbook activities. Then work on the textbook activities. And then once you do all of that, once the exam comes is due, then you do your exam. And before attempting, I told you that for the textbook activities, most of them will be recordings. Before attempting any recording on Kia, you must enable plugins. So if it asks you to allow a plugin, just click allow. If it tells you that it's going to run a flash, allow it to run the flash. Once you click on record, like a red button, it'll give you a chance to replay your recording. If you play the recording back and you cannot hear it, I won't be able to hear it either. So that means that we have an issue. So make sure that you do not submit and that you fix the issue. Sometimes all you need to do is to change browsers. Sometimes what you need to do is to look at the mute button. So sometimes it's a simple thing. If it isn't, then you need to, if you change browsers, if you maybe tried a different computer, if you you looked at your the technical requirements that are above on the first page of the syllabus, then you need to contact Kia and let me know what's going on. Okay? And you need to click on technical support, and it's at the top of the Kia page, which we'll see in a minute. Okay. So the assignments, so you'll have speaking tests, like I said, 2 compositions in French, which are small. And by the time we get to them, you'll be prepared for those. You'll have discussions in English regarding culture and regarding critical thinking. And the critical thinking discussion board is preparing you for the reflective project. So you will write a paper and submit it to eCampus. You will share it with the class via the class blog. You will give feedback to 1 classmate. You will submit your comments to the classmate, and you will improve your paper based on the feedback, and then you will create a PowerPoint with video, with audio, and you will submit both things to us through eCampus. Okay. And that's it for the syllabus. I hope that was clear. So all our work will be happening on Kia and on, which is books.kia.com. Right? This is our website, or on eCampus. Okay? So here on eCampus, if you look to the left, I have announcements. And this is where I do my communication. Every time you receive an email, I post that email here as an announcement as well. So if you lose an email, you can always come here and see all of the emails that I'm sending. Here you can have access to the syllabus. There you have the day-to-day calendar. And I believe I have it open here somewhere. Here you go. So this course will take place in March, begins today, in April, and in May. And Monday through Friday, you will have something due. Right? So today you will watch this video, and you will log into Kia, create an account, and have access either through the 3-week free trial that I'll show you how to get, or by you purchasing your access right away. Either way, after your 3-week trial, you cannot be late for the homework. So make sure that you get your access, you prepare so that you can get your access right after the 3-week trial is done, if you decide to go the 3-week trial route. So each chapter is divided into 4 parts, and the textbook calls them competences. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 competences per chapter. Since this is a preliminary chapter, it's called Chapter P. But then Chapter 1, Chapter 2, 3, and 4 are also divided into 4 competences. So what you will do every day, so tomorrow you will read pages 6 through 9. You will go to Kia and you will go to the homework page and you will complete all the exercises that are listed on that day, on the 20th of March. And those are both workbook assignments and textbook assignments all together. Okay. And then next day, you're going to do competence 2. You're going to first read pages 10 to 13, and you're going to complete the assignments that are on Kia, and so forth. Okay. I have a extra day sometimes because for the first week, I don't want to overwhelm you too much with the amount of exercises. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the workload light on the first 2 chapters. And then on the 26th, I'm going to give you assignments from all 4 competencies, usually from the workbook, which are the ones that are more, that there's more of those. Okay? And those will be due on the 26th. So make sure that you look at this calendar, but also at the assignment calendar on Kia as well. Okay? On the 27th, that you have your first exam. And that exam looks like another assignment on your Kia calendar. So it'll just say exam. So you keep doing those. Okay. You have 2 hours and a half to complete the exam, and you can only access it once. So make sure that you that once you are sitting down and you click on it, that you have 2 hours and a half to complete it. Some people finish way before that, but that's the amount that we are allotting to the completion of this exam. Okay. So gives you a reading assignment, and then it tells you which competence and which chapter homework you're going to be doing on Kia. Okay. Here's April the 3rd is another day where you will have workbook assignments that I didn't assign on these previous days, and I'm putting here so as to not to overwhelm you. Okay. Then you have, exam chapter 1, exam chapter 2 after a whole chapter, and then you have your speaking test that is due. Then you have your first composition that is due on the 16th. Then on the 23rd, you have your critical thinking discussion board. And then you have, in May, you have your reflexive essay rough draft. You have composition 2. And so the assignments are now posted all over. Okay, so we're beginning light, and then at the end in May, please give yourself plenty of time because we have some big items due at the end of the semester. Okay, composition 2, and we have the reflective essay at the end, where you do your peer reviews, you give me your first draft, then you submit it back, and then you do your PowerPoint presentation. And we'll talk about those as they present themselves. Okay. And any questions about the calendar, please let me know. So after the day-to-day calendar, you have course materials. This is where I will put some documents that you might need. This is where I post my instructor videos where I explain some of the grammar. Then you have your class assignments, and if you click here, this is where you will find the compositions. You click on the folder with your instructions. Write a small autobiography, or write a small biography about your family. Okay, so you click in here, and what you do a Word document, and then you click in here to submit. And here is where you will be submitting your reflective project. And here are the instructions for the reflective essay. The use of technology in language learning, that's your topic. The paper will be written in English with a minimum of 400 to 600 words. And MLA, identify a topic, recognize possible ethical questions. So the use of technology in language learning. Is it keeping the promise that it made? Is it helping? What has been your own experience with it? Do you believe in that the use of technology is an effective means to learn a new language? Why or why not? Take a clear position. How has the coming of language technologies and tools impacted language studies in the last decade? What is your personal experience with the use of language technology? And finally, here at the bottom, you have the PowerPoint reflective project presentation, which is a version with pictures of your final draft, but on a PowerPoint with some audio. And you click in here to submit it. Okay. Then you have your discussion boards, which is a culture discussion board. What stereotypes have you heard Americans say about the French? What do you think the French think about American culture? What is the relationship of these stereotypes to reality? And I want to ask you for these discussions to just please keep it professional. For the cultural discussion, I'm going to ask you to post a response to my questions, these 3 questions right here, and then I'm going to ask you to reply to someone else's post. Okay. For the critical thinking forum, you need to click on this link and a PowerPoint will show up with 5 or 6 slides. I need you to read that and then copy these 4 questions and create a post, paste these questions and answer them. What is thinking? What is critical thinking? Why is critical thinking important? Based on what you read on this PowerPoint. Okay. This is the class blog. In here, you will post your first draft of your reflective essay, your English essay. It's easier for us to post everyone's first drafts here so that anyone can come in and comment and give you feedback on your essay. Okay, and I'm going to discuss the class blog later on as it becomes important. Okay? And finally, here's where you can see your grades. Okay, okay. So that's the syllabus. That's eCampus. And now Kia. Okay, so on eCampus, if you go to course materials, you already have Kia instructions. So you click on Kia instructions, and let's see if I can. There you go. And here's our course, and here's the course code. Okay, and here it gives you the actual link for Kia. So if you click on there, it'll take you to this page. Okay? You need to create an account, and once you create an account, it'll ask you, do you have a course code or do you have a book code? Well, where is it? Just saw it. Well, let me see. You open. Oh, it was right here. Okay. It'll ask you once you finish creating your account if you have a course code or a book code. You have a course code, and this is the course code right here. NCEAGR893. Okay. So once you do that, okay, it'll tell you buy. It'll say my name. It'll say the name of the course. It'll say the name of the course, and then it'll say buy. So you click on buy, and it'll give you the option of buying 6 months or buy 18 months. And then at the top of that, there's a little paragraph at the top of those options, and it'll say, or you can try it for free for 3 weeks. So you can either purchase the 6 months right now, or if you are having an issue right now with purchasing access, you can click on the 3 weeks. But know that even though you get the 3 weeks right now, I expect you to have access throughout, continual access throughout. Okay? So once you do that, you purchase your access or you click on the 3-week trial, this is how it looks for you. Okay? So what I want you to do in order for you to complete the information is you first go to your ebook. So I'm here on the right hand side. In order to access the textbook, you click on ebook and then you click on the image on the cover page. And it'll open your textbook. Okay? So, and then here's the page number. And remember, if you look at the assignment in the day-to-day calendar, I give you the pages 6 through 9. So you can click here on the page at the lower left bottom corner, okay, and then you click here and you put the page number 6, and it'll take you to that page. And then you can go, you can click on on this bar at the bottom, or you can just use the arrows to go back and forth. Okay, and you can make this bigger if you want. Okay, so you should make use of all these buttons that are available on the page. So this is actually the audio for that assignment. Look. I'm not sure if you can hear that or not, but you actually can hear that when you're on your own laptops and your own computers. So click on those assignments because that's very important because it'll tell you exactly how everything sounds. Okay. So if you click on the actual, when you have this, when you have when you have this icons, you can actually click on specific parts of the text and it gives you the pronunciation for that. Okay. Also, you also need to click on um, the movie icon because it gives you a grammar tutorial, and it's this one is 5 minutes. Okay, so make sure that when you are studying, you click on all these icons because that's how you will learn how to pronounce it, and that it'll give you explanations if the textbook is not being clear on the page. Okay? So that's what you do to access the textbook. Okay? So you click on ebook. Once you're done with the ebook, you click on assignment calendar. Okay? And you click view by date. Okay? Make sure that it's assignment calendar, view by date, and it'll give you a list of every assignment that's due. And it'll look like a calendar. It'll say Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. It doesn't show up for me because I'm the instructor of the class, but it would show for you right now. For example, on Monday the 19th, you have 4 exercises that are due tonight before midnight. So those already show up there. Okay? So you have a media library, which has the audio that you find on the textbook, and you also have practice, a practice area where you can take some practice. Like there's audio flashcards, for example, and there's some games that you can practice with. And that's pretty much it. Um, Make sure that you keep submitting everything on Kia, and I will send you a reminder when something comes up on eCampus. But this is where you do your work, your daily work on Kia. And then you will have a composition due. And then we have to go to eCampus to submit that. And you might have the reflective essay due, and we use eCampus. Or we have a discussion board, you go to eCampus. But your daily work, your daily readings all happen on Kia. Okay? So what I would do right now is today, what is due is you have to create an account on Kia by clicking on create account, and you need to make sure that you complete those exercises, and I need you to check on your recording abilities. Because if you have an issue, you need to click on technical support here at the top, and you need to contact them and make sure that you have all the technical requirements. If you click on technical support, I believe you have your email and you give this information and you select the topic. Okay, but you also can click here on technical requirements to see what is it that you need. Okay, but if before I told you before, try and changing browsers. Try and see if your mute button is on. And when you do submit a recording, make sure that you play it back and you can hear it. Because if you cannot hear it, I won't be able to hear it either. Okay? All right. I hope that wasn't too much information. I'm sure it was. But I'll be here to help you if you have any questions. For now, all you have to do is go to Kia, create an account, and go to assignment calendar and look at the exercises. Go to the book, read the pages that are on your day-to-day calendar. Today are pages, oh no, not today. Today, just look at those exercises, look at those pages 6 through 9 and try and answer those exercises. And this is just sort of a test. Okay, these assignments are sort of a test to see if there's an issue, if you're able to submit those assignments. Okay, and tomorrow you will have competence one due again. Okay, so email me if you have any questions, and hopefully we'll have a great semester together. Can't wait to hear from you. Have a good day. Bye bye.